Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're gonna find out if the Ford Expedition that's behind me, if it needs a new serpentine belt. So what I have here is a new serpentine belt. Paid like $9 or $10 on Amazon for it. It was an Amazon warehouse deal. So someone purchased it, either it didn't fit or they ordered it by mistake, so they returned it. And it was at a discount. I think originally it's like 15, 16 bucks. I paid 9, maybe 10 bucks for it. And I have water here. So when you start the SUV in the mornings cold, it squeaks. Why I have the water here is I'm going to start the SUV. It's been sitting for about 2 days now. You will hear the squeak. I am going to pour water on the belt, and if the squeaking goes away, then we know this is a serpentine belt issue. If the squeaking does not go away, then it's most likely a pull. There we go. You guys hear the slight squeaking. It's not too terrible, but it's definitely there. So what we're gonna do is pour some water. See how it completely stopped? That means the serpentine belt is bad. And now it's back, if you guys can hear it. So before we're gonna start the video, we're gonna go to a different screen, and I'm basically gonna show you guys or tell you how difficult this job is, how long it will usually take, a rough estimate to complete this job, and then we're gonna jump right into it. Okay, so on this screen, we're gonna go through the ratings that I give this job. We're gonna start with difficulty. I gave this a 4 on a 10-point scale because it's a little bit more difficult than just a basic serpentine job. The vehicle is big, so me being tall, I had an advantage to kind of lean over the vehicle. But with that being said, it was easier than lifting the vehicle up and getting underneath it. The visibility was pretty great, and overall it was a fairly straightforward job that didn't require a lot of tinkering to get it done. Now with time, I gave it a 2. Even with recording the video, it took me less than an hour to complete. I think with the tools, the basic tools that you need, this job can be done in about 30 minutes, if not less. And the last category I included here is the tools required. I gave that a 3 because you don't really need any special tools, maybe aside from the 1/2 inch extended socket wrench. Aside from that, all the other tools you should have, they're fairly common. The sizes are very common. And again, you don't need to lift the car up, the vehicle up to get the job done. It's very straightforward and simple. That brings the total score 9 out of 30. So this job is definitely fairly simple to do. And with just some basic tools, I think everyone would be able to complete it. All right, now if you believe in yourself, which you should, we are going to proceed and we will start this job. So what you'll need is a set of basic tools. I have this that I'm gonna use to put on the tensioner to kind of help myself not struggle as much. So the plan is to remove this air intake, probably taking off the engine cover so that we have this open space, and from there it should be fairly easy. To take 2 of these out, you'll need a 11mm socket. They are fairly long, but very easy to remove. Once you get those out, this side will lift up, and then this side is basically these rubberish, I don't know, prongs, if you will, that the cover sits on. So you just gently pull it up and it'll come out. We're gonna set this to the side. Next, you'll need an 8mm socket, which will go in here. Untighten this clasp, and then gently pull off this end. This is what that looks like. And the goal is not to completely disassemble it. This is just a clamp, but we want this to be moved to the side. I'll actually go ahead and take off this electrical pin so that I don't bend any of the wires. And this is what that looks like. We have our air filter. This is how you would replace the air filter. This one's kind of dirty. But we have this open area. Ignore the water here. I poured it for the test. So there's our tensioner pulley that we will need to release in order to get the belt off. But the only thing in the way is this hose, which runs from the radiator. But I will not touch it. I will not remove it. I have plenty space to get in, remove the belt, do what I need to do. This is the setup that I have going on. What you will need is 1/2 inch male socket wrench. There you go, 1/2 inch in size. This is why I have this pipe. Guys, you have no idea how often I use this for, I mean, so many jobs. So what we're doing is we put it into the tensioner and we will be moving it to the right side, effectively like this. And if you can see, the belt releases tension. So with one hand, push it down. With the other, remove one part of the belt. You could start with the alternator right here, and then you could slowly release the tensioner and remove the rest of the belt. Plot twist. So this belt is a little bit more difficult than most cars. So you see where it's going right here, behind the tensioner and this pulley underneath. You basically have to take it off the pulley right there where the flashlight is, and then pull it back out, effectively pulling it out like this. And from the bottom like so. So what I saw initially, see these little spots? Plus this belt just seems very old. By the way, the truck has 162,000 miles almost. Although I don't see any cracks, but see something like this, that could give you an issue. It's definitely time to replace it, and it's not a super expensive job. So we're gonna unpackage the new belt. Here's the new belt. And it's a Bando, part number 6PK2555. So what you want to do here is more or less kind of compare the size so there are no obvious differences. Of course, your older one will be slightly bigger because it's been used, it's been stretched out. The new one will be a little bit smaller, but there's a huge color difference in these. This is really kind of brownish and dusty or bronze colored. So let's get this one in. I'm gonna grab it like this and put it all the way down. Sorry guys, bear with me. Like so, one end all the way down. I'm slowly gonna feed this end. Gonna get it down. Before the belt slides in, this is where it's going. The tensioner pulley, between this top pulley and then the tensioner pulley, we're gonna feed one end of the belt in there. So hopefully the lighting will be okay. Just like that. There it goes. And with my other hand, I'm going to pull it down and loop it around the bottom pulley. There it is, around the other pulley. and see how it comes out right here. So now we can follow this diagram. Every single engine bay should have this, no matter what car you have. And this is essentially how the belt went. It went through this tensioner release pulley, the higher pulley. We looped it around this bottom one, and now we're going to follow this diagram and put the belt back on. Before I completely put on the belt, there is one more spot that is really confusing. So initially I put one of the ends all the way down, kind of behind or under this fan clutch, and pulled it this way. So you still do that. The trick is the bottom, the massive pulley that's connected to the engine, you have to wrap the belt around that, and then it comes up from under here, and you pull the whole belt, all of it, this whole part through again, and then you loop it around this one, and then it will go down here, around, up into the alternator. So it's a little bit confusing, but hopefully once you guys take it off, you will kind of better understand what I'm talking about, and it should make a lot more sense. Okay, with the belt on, what you want to really focus on is not my phone that's going off right now. Do a visual inspection, and do a good visual inspection, so that the belt isn't like halfway off a pulley, that the little ribs on the belt actually go into the ribs on the pulleys. Once you think everything is good, put everything back together. So we're gonna start with taking that out, taking that out, putting that to the side. With two hands, you'll want to put this back together. We're gonna go super simple. Put this together, put the clamp over it, push it down. If you disconnected this electrical pin, push that back in. We need a 8mm socket. On it goes. And then at this point, since the only thing that's left is the engine cover, we can go ahead and start it and see if the belt still squeaks. And voila, no squeaking. You want to make sure that visually the belt is moving straight. The fan, and you are effectively done. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Hope you stick around. I hope you browse the channel. I hope you subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Have a good one.